essentials, and I help women remember who they are. I'm going to share with you a story about how I first came to be really passionate and switched on to the idea of conscious daily self-care, and taking a quick personal inventory has become a real lifestyle choice of mine, and I really hope that after listening to this video it becomes a lifestyle choice for you as well. You know, we're in such a full-on busy world, and as modern women, we are forced to juggle so many different balls up in the air, and not even balls juggling in the air, but different caps we have to wear. Like, how many more metaphors can I throw into this mix? I know you know what I'm talking about. We have to do so many things. We feel compelled to show up in certain ways. A lot of times women work with me because they just cannot say no to things, and they feel exhausted and burned out and really overwhelmed by the burden of having to care for so many different people and situations and circumstances. So the very first time I ever opened a bottle of doTERRA oil was the day that my life completely changed, and I want to share that with you because these little bottles of oil are probably the easiest way you can care for yourself in a really busy lifestyle. Let me tell you why. Just by holding a bottle, you are going to be exposed to the energy of this oil. And if you've ever had kinesiology or muscle testing done by a kinesiologist or a chiropractor or someone like me who's an emotion and body code therapist, then you'll have felt and seen the power of muscle testing, and how just by holding something, doesn't matter what you hold, it could be anything. I've got bottles of oil everywhere. Your body will go strong or it will go weak. And it will be in response to whether your body is in alignment with it, energetically, physically in alignment, or whether it's not. So I guess you could say, if you go strong, your body needs it. If you go weak, your body doesn't need it. So if you've ever get a chance to go and have muscle testing done, it's an incredible experience. And you can actually muscle test many things in your life. You can muscle test food, supplements, water, alcohol, and essential oils. So just if by holding a bottle of essential oil, if you know the properties of the oil, of what it's meant to do for your physical body, you can just wear it in your pocket and it will actually have a really nice effect on you, a strengthening effect in your whole system. It's pretty cool, huh? So the very first time I was introduced to doTERRA, I opened a bottle of Lavender Peace, wafted it under my nose just like this, and I went, oh wow, that's nice. I think I might need to have that. And I didn't know what the properties were. I just knew it had lavender in it. Lavender Peace, kind of a bit of a giveaway. Excuse me. So what I came to understand was that not only did it have lavender in it, but it also had chamomile, which is another massively calming and soothing oil for the nervous system. It also has Hawaiian sandalwood, super, super grounding. It's also got vetiver, which is a plant that is really earthy, so really grounding, really stabilizing. Cedarwood, again, it's a really stabilizing and grounding scent. And also vanilla bean, which is really soothing. So, and I must point out, vanilla bean is an absolute. It's not an essential oil. So there's a little bit of difference in how they're extracted and put into the bottle. So Lavender Peace, you can kind of assume from the description that I've just given you, is created to help calm and soothe the nervous system, but also to ground you as well. Now, if you're the kind of woman that is always juggling, always rushing here and there, always has something on her plate, you can be pretty sure that you're not very grounded unless you have a daily practice of grounding. I'll go into practicing of grounding on other videos, but for today, just understand that if you're not conscious of grounding yourself on a daily basis through a few different practices, then you're probably not grounded. So at the very least, this oil is going to ground you and keep your feet on the ground, right? So that you're not rushing around so much. We live in this air element mentality, always up in our heads. And so that's very light. It's quick, it's fast. We can make things happen really quick. But when we're down here on solid earth, things are a lot slower. we've got gravity. And so you need to get back to that place, because it's from there, in that grounded and centered and calm space, that you can make clear decisions, you can feel more peaceful, and you can be more present and in the moment. So if you are someone who struggles with the overwhelming stuff that's on your plate, if you find that you react a lot, if you find that your kids just can make your blood boil and you can go from 0 to a T-Rex in under 5 seconds, that's quite impressive, by the way, if you can do that. I call it the T-Rex syndrome, when we just, fine, right? So if you find that you go to the T-Rex, you want to have this oil really close by. You want to have it on you as often as possible. You want to have it in your pocket as often as possible. You want to make sure it's the first thing you put on in the morning and the last thing you put on at night before you go to bed. And I'll tell you why. If you were to go to the doctor and they're going to give you some medicine for whatever it is that you need medicine for, they're going to say, take this 3 times a day or every 8 hours and do it until you've run out of the packet, or do it for a period of 7 to 10 days, what have you, right? I'm going to say the same thing about this oil. It's not medicinal, but you're going to treat it like it is. And if you've never used this before and you are stressed, if you find that you're always overwhelmed, if you find that you become a T-Rex at any moment of the day because the kids set you off or someone sets you off, an email, a phone call, whatever it is, you want to treat this a little bit like it's your personal go-to, so that you can actually help to even yourself out a little bit. So how I would use it is just like this, not even a drop, just a dab behind the ears, and morning and night. Put it beside the bed. If you're really bad, if you find that you're really stressed out and you just can't get a grip on yourself, you want to keep this with you, carry it with you to work or to school or what have you. So the reason it's going to work is twofold. It's the energetic properties of this oil, so the calming, soothing, grounding properties, but also the physical properties of this oil. When it goes up into your brain, it actually floods your whole system with feel-good hormone, and you start to calm down. Now, lavender and chamomile have been studied extensively, and we do know that those two oils together have a powerful sedation effect on the nervous system. Excuse me. So one thing I know for sure is when I work with women and I ask in a class to get out their pen and paper and write notes and think about who the oils that I'm talking about could benefit, they write the biggest, longest notes for every other person that they know, and they've got probably like a tiny little bit here for themselves. Excuse me. So what I want to encourage you to do is take a personal health check right now and think about yourself. Think about what perceived burdens you might have, what stresses you might have, what riles you up, what makes you feel like a T-Rex. Where do you feel like you are not grounded? And just write them down. You can pause the video if you need to write some notes. And now I want you to think about all of those times that you could have done with some restful, peaceful activities, but you just haven't. And I want you to think about why you don't slow your roll, why you're not stopping and resting periodically through the day. And now I want you to think about how you could maybe put some restful periods into your day. And I know I'm the same as you. I'm really busy. I've got lots of kids. I'm studying. I've got businesses. But at some point, you're going to burn out, right? If you don't allow rest and rejuvenation, you're going to burn out. So I wonder, where in your schedule could you put in a 2-minute breathe break? Where could you put in a 2-minute close your eyes and feel around you break? Now, if you've got little kids, you're not going to do that while they're running around your ankles. You might have to duck to the toilet. Sometimes those kids will knock on the door. I know mine used to. But you can close the door. They're not going to hurt themselves for 2 minutes, you would hope. It might be if you need to drive somewhere and you have one of the kids falls asleep in the car, maybe take that moment to just sit there, have the aircon going, have a window down, whatever the case may be, and just close your eyes and breathe for a few moments. It's these small, consistent focus breaks during the day that you might want to whip out your lavender peace oil just to help harmonize and bring you back into balance. It's as simple as that, just a little whiff, just a little slowing down, turning off the noise, turn your phone to silent for a few minutes. Sometimes, if I'm going somewhere and I've been really quite stressed, I'll set a timer on my phone for 3 minutes. I'll close my eyes, it'll be in do not disturb mode, and I will just breathe for 3 minutes. And the reason I put a timer on is because I can sometimes get stressed knowing that, look, I don't want to go too far. I don't want to meditate for too long, right? So it's given me just a little bit of a space, a window, if you will, where I can just come into myself and I can just breathe and focus on myself. I really believe that as we move through this century, it's for women to start to realize that we can't be all things to all people at all times if we're not first connecting with ourselves. And Lavender Peace has been an oil for me personally that has helped me reconnect with myself, reconnect with my true inner vision for myself, and really come to understand the wise woman that resides inside of me. And she's always talking, but I'm so busy I don't hear it. So if I give myself these focused, intentional rest breaks during the day that maybe last for 1 minute, sometimes 10, it allows me to come more closer into alignment with who I was created to be in the first place. Getting to know yourself is a cornerstone of the programs that I teach and the one-on-one healing work that I do with women. And if you feel like it's time that you got to know yourself on a deeper level, can I invite you to start with Lavender Peace Oil? Start with her, use it daily, morning and night. Give yourself those intentional rest breaks and start to see how you expand a little bit. Because when you're stressed, when you're overwhelmed and burdened, you'll start to contract. So choose to use this every day as a intentional self-care tool. You've got it in your toolkit. You may as well be getting it out and giving it a go. And see how you go over the period of a week. See if it makes a change to how you show up for life and how satisfied you are, how happy you are in your life. I do know that because of the powerful oils that are in this bottle, it will have a significant change on the way your brain works, the way you can calm down, and it may even help with things like sleep, falling asleep a little easier, winding down in the night. So you might want to pop this in the diffuser as well, about an hour or two before bedtime to help ease you in. You might want to turn off screens, get off your phone, seriously, get off your computer, turn lights down low, maybe even sit by candlelight and talk to your partner, talk to your kids. These are small little things that you can do to help wind your nervous system down so that you can actually be more peaceful and present and slip into the sleeping part of the day a little bit easier. So I want you to take a personal inventory check of yourself. What are you doing to help support yourself on a self-care basis? How are you changing a little bit so that you can find yourself in a better frame of mind? And finally, what can you do going forward that's going to help really reinforce this idea that if mum is not okay, no one's okay, right? Whether you've got kids or not, there's a lot of people that rely on you to show up, to be your best and to perform at your best. And so if you're not connecting with self and if you're not really listening to yourself and allowing the true you to come out, we're missing out. The world needs more of you, the real you. And I do believe that Lavender Peace is a gateway oil that you can use to tap in, to tune in, and then to be able to express your true self into the world. So as far as emotional care goes, Lavender Peace is my absolute go-to because I tend to go towards the stress, the overwhelm, the anxiety, the struggle, the feeling like I just can't keep up with everything. And what pulls me back into alignment, helping me to stay calm, focused, rested, and really give myself those moments of intentional peace and quiet and space. And that's this oil. So I hope you enjoy it and love it as much as I do. And if you do find that you get an incredible result and experience, I'd love you to comment below and let me know. Good luck. I look forward to hearing your stories.